Hi, my name is Mansoor Faisal, and I'm glad to be the part of this module Consultancy Skills for Business Analysis, in which we have been given the project to work on. So we formed a group of 4 people to work on this particular project. To complete this project, we have made a group of 4 people, and our group leader is Fahad Basharat, who is a really great leader of our group, and he gave each one of us a different part to work on in this project. And on the second number we have Hassan Mahmood, and then me myself Mansoor Faisal and Nadine Mazrula. We made a WhatsApp group in which we were discussing about our project day by day, every day, and we also did a meeting in the university after the classes, and also we made a group discussion board in the Canvas. We were talking about our project in there as well. Now I am going to discuss about the project. Moving forward to talk about this project, I'm going to start with the project introduction. And in this one, we have 2 parts, which is project overview and project importance. To talk about project overview, we have the objective and specialization. In our objective of this project, we have a comprehensive analysis of GoHire, a newly established recruitment consultancy. On the second, we have the specialization, in which we have temporary contract and permanent staffing solution across various sectors. Moving forward to the importance of the project, we have business model, evaluation and market position, improvement areas in which we have enhanced operational efficiency and client satisfaction, which is most important in this project, and also informed strategic decisions. In this slide, I'm going to talk about the project scope, methodology, and objectives of this project. In the project scope, we are going to improve the operations of this project by using business analysis techniques, in which we have SWOT analysis. We're going to do best analysis of the project, and also data architecture assessment, data structure analysis, and also the project risk assessment. Moving forward to the methodology, in which we have exploratory data analysis techniques, which is also known as EDA. We have regression analysis findings. We're going to do cluster analysis insights, time series analysis highlights. Moving forward to the project objectives, in which we have highlighted the main points. We're going to talk about the evaluate business model effectiveness, analyze market position and competitive landscape, identify improvement and operational enhancements. We're going to do decision making and strategic planning recommendations, and also we're going to do the enhanced client satisfaction through data driven insights. Expected outcomes from this project are to optimize operations and improve efficiency, inform decisions making based on analysis and recommendations, which is also called the trustworthy decision we're going to provide to our clients. And the last point is to establishment of preferred recruitment agency. Thank you.
Hi, thank you Mansoor for your part. Now I will be talking about the environmental analysis. So we divide the environmental analysis into 2 parts. One is the pest analysis and the other is the SWOT analysis. So let's talk about the pest analysis first. So pest analysis, let's talk about the political factors affecting GoHire. So there are Brexit impacts and the changing immigration laws that can affect GoHire's business. Then we have the economic factors like the unemployment rate and the high inflation rate right now in the UK that is affecting GoHire right now. Then we have the social factors like the different demographics in the UK and the different diversity inclusion considerations which can affect GoHire's business. Then we have technological factors, so different automation and how they're gonna affect GoHire. Then we have legal factors like different employment laws and different data privacy regulations that GoHire has to stick to, and that can also have an influence on their business. Let's talk about the climate change, the environmental factors too. So the environmental factors are the climate change and how it's going to affect GoHire. Because climate change is a real threat right now. So in the future, it's not out of cards that different industries might have to shut down. So yeah, different industries shutting down means different recruiting policies now. So yeah, this will affect GoHire's business as well. Now let's talk about the SWOT analysis. So we divide the SWOT analysis into two different factors, like the internal factors and the external factors. Um, so the internal factors, let's talk about them. So we have the strengths and weaknesses. So the internal factors, uh, the strengths basically are different, like the specialization GoHire has. They have wide staffing solutions. They provide temporary and permanent contracts. So that is a strength. Plus, they have a lot of expertise in what they do. They also have strong network of candidates in their database, which can be a strength. And agility. So what is agility? Basically, or what how is agility a good like a strength for them? Because as GoHire is a new company, so they can like change the way they work in a matter of days. So that's why they're very agile. Now let's talk about the weaknesses. The weaknesses are the brand recognition. They don't have a lot of brand recognition as they are a new company. Plus the resources. Yeah, they're struggling financially a lot. They don't have a lot of resources, which can be a weakness. And client base. Yeah, client base is also a weakness because they don't have a lot of clients. They also only have like Alpha and Omega. These are basically two, three main clients. Now let's talk about the external factors, the opportunities and threats. So the opportunities, it's a growing market, a lot of influx of students, so GoHire can grow their business in rapidly. Now the digital transformation, so they can embrace technology and this will help them streamline their processes and standardize their methods of recruiting. They can be niche specific, which can be an opportunity, and they can do different partnerships with different companies and go on different joint ventures, which can act as an opportunity for them. Now let's talk about the threats. They're working in a high competitive market. There are a lot of big fish that do not let the new fishes or small fishes come in and swoop away with their business. They have a lot of regulatory implications that they have to stick to. They have a lot of the UK is going through a lot of economic instability, so yeah, that is affecting their business. And yes, the technological disruptions. Yeah, although technology is a good thing, but in the future, AI is going to swoop away all the business from all the recruiting companies. So yeah, that is also going to affect their business. Now let's move on to the next slide. Yeah, now let's talk about the project risk assessment summary. So we created an entire risk assessment summary just to know what the potential risks to the project are. I don't have a lot of time to talk about all of them, so I'm just going to talk about a one or two. So let's start with a lack of strategic governance and management for managing risks. So this is a big threat to the project, and fortunately we have provided different mitigation actions to, you know, mitigate this risk. Now, then let's talk about another risk that is incomplete client info. Yeah, it can be a risk, but fortunately we have the mitigation action with it as well. Now, another risk would be data that is not consistent or reliable. Yeah, it's a big risk, and yeah, fortunately we've also provided the mitigation actions and how to mitigate this risk. So yeah, that's for all for the project risk assessment summary. Now let's talk about the exploratory data analysis. And I'm going to take you through the entire process of what exploratory data analysis looks like. So the first step is data collection. We collect data, then there is data cleaning. We clean the data. Then after cleaning the data, we go for a univariate analysis. So we go for different statistical analysis like mean, median, mode, and we visualize the data using charts and histograms. And after visualizing the data or conducting different analysis, we find out the relationship between pairs of variables, and we find out different combinations of data and how they're related. And after that, we summarize our results and create summaries for the data analysis. So this is all for the exploratory data analysis and how it's carried out. Yeah, so the first data analysis technique we used was cluster analysis, and we know that cluster analysis can only be taken on unlabeled data. So that's why I took hours, price, and revenue as the variables for the cluster analysis. Now I carried out I used a function called WSS plot, which gives an optimum number of clusters, and then I carried out the cluster analysis, and we can see that we got two clusters, and the data points in the clusters are not like far away from each other. This means that all the data or all the revenues that were created by different candidates of Go Higher, they're closely related. They're very closely related. That's why we don't see a lot of distance between the two clusters, nor do we see a lot of distance between um, the different data points inside the clusters. So yeah, this is all for the cluster analysis. Thank you.
Presentation. Okay, so now I'll just take from here on, like I'll talk about regression analysis, the first data analytics that we are going to apply, of course, after cluster analysis. We have several options. We could have like taken our number of shifts and month as two variables to analyze, but we choose revenues as dependent on the time, like their months for the last year. If you look at this one, we see that there is a positive relationship, which clearly determines that the company is growing, because over the period of time, like from the beginning, we see the revenues kept on increasing. Well, August was the best month for them because they generated a lot of revenues over there. Similarly, if we look at the table, we also see that the shifts are the maximum in August, which means that they were straight up from beginning until the August. After August, we see some slump in there because we see that the revenues has been declined. It's probably because the Christmas was approaching and recruitment demand is obviously less. And of course, the supply side was also short because people usually in the last 2 months of the year they are busy or they just don't want to work as much. But overall, if we look at the trend, we summarize that it's a positive trend, which is a good sign for Go Higher because if we keep this trend in the coming years, and based on their experience, based on their market profile and how they are developing themselves, we can see clearly a bright future for the company. And also by the way, with this equation, we can replace the x with let's say 13 or 14 or 15 to get how much they are going to get the revenue in the coming years. There is a lot of things in the regression analysis. We took it from MS Excel output. We can just talk about more of the things, but the most important thing here is the regression equation, which is the link between dependent variable, which is the revenue, with the independent variable, which is the time. So from here on, we'll move to the next slide. Okay, so here now we have used two more methods under the data analytics in this slide. We talk about the months. We talk about 3 months moving average, which we took from the last 3 years. We added the revenues and divided by 3, and then we moved on. Like we carried this one to the next 3 years, next 3 months, and we took the last 3 months as a sum. This is how we calculate the 3 months moving. Then we applied the previous slide, the regression over there, and we calculated the regression based for things. We also use exponential smoothing. Now exponential smoothing alpha is assumed because it depends on different industry to industry, but we find using alpha, and we got all the revenues for the based on the exponential smoothing. And then we compare the results. So you see that now let's say we are in a 12th month, which is a December. Our all three methods shows different results. So, which means there are a lot of other factors that will determine the forecast revenues. We cannot solely rely on these methods to forecast the future because these are based on historical number, and history is never 100% depiction of the future. So moving next, all right. So now we are moving towards the data visualization. We did all the work. We have their financials, we have their income statement, we have their forecasting and all these things. Now we need to do a visualization. Remember, visualization is important because it helps a reader a very easy to understand things, and then it helps us to interpret in a better way. If we give them a big reports, big numbers, they might not be able to understand, but data visualization will help them to, when they see first time, they see what everything is going on. And then it of course it helps to support decisions. We move next. Okay, this is very important. This is like a dashboard for our data analytics. We clearly see that day shifts, if you look at the first circular graph, we see that day shifts are the maximum number of shifts that they are doing. Of course, it makes sense because most of the recruitment is in the day side. But night is never behind. It is actually showing almost like 40% of the total shifts. Uh, uh, no doubt, of course, if we look at the revenues from the quarter, we see the third quarter is the highest revenue. Why? Because as we mentioned in the previous slide, August was the favorite month for them, so they generated a lot of revenue over there. And then if you look at the client base, if you see Omega is the biggest client for them. There are other three clients, but they are like not too much generating revenues for them. Omega is their best and favorite client. Uh, if you look at the cycle of the revenue distribution, we see that a lot of revenues has been consumed into expenses. It's barely like 3% or something they are left with their net income. Otherwise, most of their revenues are eaten up, which means they have a lot of expenses. They have a lot of salaries, they have a lot of administration expenses, which of course they need to control. Uh, we have current assets, of course. Their liquidity is okay because they are able to maintain their current liabilities are managed well because their assets are more than their current liabilities. And then moving ahead, we have from here on, my colleagues will take. I'll just summarize quickly. As Hassan spoke before, they have wide staffing solution as their strengths. They have good industry experience, uh, but some of the problems, like they have less brand recognition, which of course will improve with the passage of time. Their potential of growth is more because I mean, no company would spend a lot of expenses on hiring themselves. They can just take temporary staff from them, work done, they take it back. So no need to have a fixed expenses. As I mentioned in the last slide, they have concerns about their profits, which is only 3.84%, which of course they need to work on. Thank you. That was my part.
Hi. So I'll conclude our presentations with the recommendations for Go Higher. Firstly, build brand awareness and reputation through targeted marketing efforts that include digital marketing, content creation, and networking. Secondly, allocate resources strategically to improve infrastructure, technology, and operational capabilities to enhance competitiveness. Thirdly, expand the client base by actively pursuing new client relationships and diversifying across sectors and industries. Fourthly, embrace digital transformation by using technology, tools, and platform to make candidate sourcing, screening, and matching processes more efficient. Fifthly, explore niche specialization by focusing on sectors or industries where GoHire can provide unique value and stand out from competitors. And finally, establish strategic partnerships and collaborations with complementary businesses or industry associates to expand the reach and enhance service offering. The implementation of our recommendations for GoHire can lead to various benefits and implications for the company. Firstly, improving brand recognition and reputation can lead to increased client trust, client acquisition, and a stronger market position. Enhancing resources and infrastructure can enhance operational efficiency, scalability, and the ability to handle larger volume of placements. Diversifying the client base across sectors and industries can provide stability, reduce dependency, and unlock new growth opportunities. Embracing digital transformation can streamline processes, improve productivity, and provide a competitive edge in a candidate sourcing and matching. And then niche specialization can position GoHire as an expert in specific sectors, attracting clients seeking specialized staffing solutions. Then strategic partnership and collaborations can expand the network, increase market research, and offer complementary services, leading to mutually benefit relationships and increased business opportunities. Thank you.